Welcome to the Boom Druid. Boss powers made Stone Burst go bonkers. Hold down your button for 1 second, VAM. Big billions of explosions clearing screens. I thought Boulder was the most fun way to play. You go and clear it all. And you need only two things plus the boss power to make it work. One would be the Mjolnir Ring. While Cataclysm is active, we deal 100% more damage and we gain unlimited spirit. That's the most important part. This gets paired together with the Anticline Burst. Stone Burst deals 32% increased damage and is guaranteed to overpower when it detonates its maximum size. The maximum size in this case refers to how Stone Bursts work. You hold your button for a second, boom. That was maximum size, always overpower. Just billions of hits without even activating anything bonus. But you notice how my Essence Globe goes quite empty. That's why you want to have the Cataclysm into the unlimited spirit. I can just spam it away. We also have a boss power running, and it kind of seems to be a clunky gameplay. I mean, who wants to charge things? Let me show you how it actually plays. Before we do that though, what's the boss power? And that would be Wandering Death Chest Beam. While channeling, Stone Burst is a channel skill, we shoot out the Death Beam, and then the enemy we hit takes 50% more damage. Which means that we're guaranteed to overpower, and overpower is broken with a 32% damage increase and then another 50% damage increase. While Stone Burst anyways deals 25% more damage the more enemies are in the initial burst, and you get another 50% more damage on the final explosion, but it costs 66% more spirit. First, activate your Hurricane for more ranks into shapeshifting skills, then the Werewolf for more attack speed, and the Storm to have endless resource. Boom, string clear. And then we go on. We just boom everything in our way. Keep our Werewolf up, like always use the Roar to pretty much increase your, there's the dude, target him. Keep your Roar up to get more attack speed, because the more attack speed you have, the faster the charge up is. And then these elites here, they're just getting big boomed. The triple stat elite who has tons of life, yep, also getting big boomed. And don't forget, the more enemies you have in your initial blast, the more damage you deal. So that's where your damage increases then maximum. This kind of works against bosses too, as you can, oh, that was 60 billion, I think. This kind of works against bosses too, as you can use the power from Lilith to get these blood orbs. We need to target these guys. Oh, they're dead. Don't forget to activate your Storm always, because you want that 100% damage and you want to have the unlimited resource. And then you just quick charge boom, quick charge boom, quick charge boom. I'm still not as proficient with the quick charge boom as I should be. So I think I'm holding the button too long, because you pretty much just need to hold it for the first expansion. You notice how the things are getting bigger. You also notice how we're actually having two bursts happening there. And that's where the real damage comes from, because one burst, already powerful, but two bursts that guaranteed overpower, well, massively more powerful. For that double burst, we want to temper chance for Stone Burst to cast twice. Amazing. And we'll talk about the resource regain in a second as well. Then we need the offhand, the Stone of Vehement. This gives you 7 ranks to Stone Burst with a greater affix, and while channeling Stone Burst and for 2 seconds afterwards you gain damage reduction, and Stone Burst's final explosion deals 20% increased damage, further increased by 20% for each size increase. So go voop, voop, and then boom, 40% damage. Amazing. The Stone of Vehement also has chance for Stone Burst to cast twice. If I had this as a greater affix, fantastic, but like this, we're sitting at 70% already. It's quite good. It happens almost every single cast. Now I do say keep your Cataclysm up. It has a 42.25 seconds cooldown, and I have a 28.57 seconds duration. The duration increase is happening with a Mjolnir Ring. That gives you 4 more ranks into Endless Tempest. An Endless Tempest with 8 ranks in total increases the duration of Hurricane and Cataclysm by 40%. That's nice. Together then, with our Spirit Boon, Calamity, we have a huge duration increase on our ultimate skill. But it would still leave us with some cooldown and no spirit at all. And that's where our rune combo comes in. We're playing Nagu into Zek. Nagu says maintain 1 active summon up to 6 for 500 offering, because I have 3 ravens and 2 wolves. That's the only reason why I have them. Yep, these 5 companions continuously just reduce the cooldown of my ultimate without me having to do anything. I just walk around. I just have these slats active, and I'm simply, VAM, getting the cooldown of the ultimate lower. And since the Mjolnir ring gives us unlimited spirit, I never have to actually pay for the Stone Burst. Why wouldn't we just use the Quox rune? With Neo Quox, every 2 seconds I get 200 offering. With 400 offering or 300, I deplete my whole Essence Globe and I get 100% damage increase. Which means that I just spam my Stone Burst, and every 4 seconds I do an Ultra Stone Burst that will completely deplete my spirit. Now we need to get that spirit back. And for the one part, we have 10 spirit per second with a Gift of the Stack. This at least gives me 40 spirit every 4 seconds. That's not enough. So what we added is lucky hit chance to restore resource, and also lucky hit chance to restore resource temper on one ring. These two together with a 70% lucky hit chance of Cataclysm, also Hurricane with a 32, and the Stone Burst itself having 28% lucky hit chance at hitting everyone at the same time. Kind of has me just deplete my spirit every 4 seconds and then fully get it back for another super Kavama hit. Very useful. Now, how would this work versus bosses, and how do you scale the Stone Burst to do massive damages? Let me show you. Belial is something everyone needs to be able to kill. If you can't kill Belial, your build kind of sucks. Good thing is, we're always fortified, and we always have full berry up. Well, let's not forget about my health potion here, because that's going to be more damage. Hurricane, Cataclysm, Wolf Yell, and then boom, boom, boom. And we're pretty much just booming him dead, right? Notice him chunking down quite nicely. And don't forget to use your little Wolf Yell. And there was also that big damage increase, right? When the Quox triggered. So we're just winning. Is Rogue faster? Yeah, Rogue is faster. but who cares, right? Obviously Rogue is faster, but we have him destroyed. This in Infernal Hordes, this in the Hell Tides, whatever piece of content, it's fun and you can handle it. For the big damage scaling, you should not forget that Stone Burst is a core skill. Everything core skill related will give us a bigger multiplier. And every rank in Stone Burst is quite some damage percentages, so that's already very useful. And we can, with Wild Impulse, get it up further. We get our Blood Howl for the attack speed, because with more attack speed, the charge just happens faster. Then we get more damage versus distant enemies, and if they're slowed, stunned, immobilized, or knockbanked, another 20%. And we get damage increase as we have more movement speed. This is why we need to swap between the forms to actually get bonus movement speed with the heightened senses and the quick shift anyways for bonus damage. And in bear form, we get more life. If we have more life, we do more overpower damage. And our earth skills in general are absolutely clapping out with high damages. Increase the nature magic damage, get the Cataclysm ranks for the cooldown reduction, and then we're playing Bestial Rampage. When shapeshifting, Werebear grants more damage, and Werewolf grants more attack speed. That's why we always want to go for Blood Howl, Stone Burst. Blood Howl, Stone Burst, to really keep this up. And since Stone Burst is a core skill, on our amulet, the aspect of retaliation, your core skills deal up to 100% increased damage based on your amount of fortifying. I'm always fully fortified. I have bonus willpower, attack speed, maximum life, cataclysm cooldown reduction, and then overpowered damage. On my ring, I play 61% increased damage against poisoned enemies. How do we poison enemies? Well, in our spirit boons, we have the Stag, we have the Iron Feather for life and the bonus critical strike damage, then the Calamity for the ultimate cooldown extension, and Overload, dealing damage with storm skills. Lightning bolts and dancing bolts also applies an additional poison damage. Oh, hello there. That would give our Hurricane and our Cataclysm the ability to poison. That together with our Envenom is another 40% critical strike damage against poisoned enemies. Ta-da! Our last damage aspect is the Crash Stone, which gives us 71% increased damage to crowd-controlled enemies, and they're always crowd-controlled by my Hurricane or knocked back by my Cataclysm. Now, you really do want Vasili's Prayer, because of the greater affix willpower, but also my Earth skills are now Werebear skills, and they fortify me. This gives me the consistent fortify with the Stone Burst, but if my Earth skills are also Werebear skills, then while Hurricane is active, gain 5 ranks to your shapeshifting skills. Ergo, we activate Hurricane, and boom, that's 23 instead of 18 ranks on the Stone Burst. Very useful. We're currently playing the Shroud of the False Death to really get everything up passive-wise and to get the 352 all stats. Alternative, you could play the Insatiable Fury, which gives you 5 more ranks to Werebear skills and makes Werebear my true form. And in case of the Insatiable Fury, you could then play Urizen's Strength as well for even more life, even more overpower damage, and even more damage while healthy. This does work quite nice for people without the Shroud of False Death. I wouldn't even say it's worse. The advantage of Shroud is that it just literally boosts all the damage, like the core skill damage here, or more damage after casting a defensive skill, more range damage. You notice the whole damage scale of Shroud is bigger than actually using Insatiable Fury. But Insatiable Fury is plenty strong. And if you play Insatiable Fury, you don't need Wild Heart Hunger. Wild Heart Hunger says shapeshifting into a new animal form increases the value of your bestial rampage bonus by 5% up to 50%. Howl into bear, howl into bear, howl into bear. Ta-da. That only works if you have bestial rampage, obviously. Very important is to use a dagger, because daggers attack the fastest. This is 1.2 attacks per second, whereas a sword, for example, has 1.1 attack per second, or a club axe has like 0.9. Yeah, I think a club has 0.9, the axe has 1.12. Slightly faster, allowing the Stone Burst to go a zip, 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 bit quicker. Which has me use Variana as my merc as well for the bonus attack speed, but you could probably go for Rahir for that damage bonus, or for Subu for the bonus overpower. And before you ask about defense, yes, I have the 1000 armor and my resistances are somewhat there. That being said, I could probably kick the armor out completely and not care about it, as I'm playing the Blackmailer's Sabotage boss power. Whenever you gain Fortify, additionally gain 30% of the amount as Barrier. We always fortify with the Stone Burst, we always bury up, this keeps me alive from harm, and I can just stay AFK on pit bosses without moving. We also do play Belial's I-Beam, as we activate our main boss power for 30% more overpower damage, and every Stone Burst activates the chest beam. So on every Stone Burst, 30% more damage. Cool. Lastly, we get this 50% bonus crit chance to really just have 100% Stone Burst super crit. For the Tempers, you want to look for Hurricane duration, because the Hurricane also wants to be up always, that you always get the 5 bonus ranks on your core skill. Gloves then with bonus ranks to Stone Burst as well. This is +6 and it go up to +8, and this could also go up to 8 or 9. That's 13 more ranks. Kind of nice. You have a Ring of Starless Skies. That works as well, because that's even more core skill ranks and attack speed. Right now I've cleared a pit 75 in 4 minutes, which means I can definitely clear a pit 80. Probably not a pit 85 yet. For that I would have to masterwork the Stone Burst ranks higher. And I would probably have to make sure to hit my willpower bonus here 3 times in a row for that insane damage scale, as I'm only sitting at 3,100 willpower. What about the Paragon board? What can we do here? First, Dominate. You want all the overpower damage. That's amazing. Then we're going into the Survival Instincts for more damage into Werebear form, and the Outmatch Glyph. The Outmatch Glyph is multiplying up the Battle Worn height that we get even more maximum life. Super useful. Also here, by the way, percentage of total armor. Don't miss out on that. Then we get Earthen Devastation, more damage with crowd control damage, and we have the crowd controlled damage here, together with the Earth and Sky Glyph. Very easy. This gets us into the Heightened Malice, more damage if there are poison enemies around us, and there's always poison enemies around us. Together then with the Spirit Glyph for 69 dex, and I can even take another 5 dex here. And lastly, we're going to the Sinister Tendrils board, where you get Nature Magic skills do 35% increased damage against poisoned enemies. We have only nature magic skills. Nice. This lastly has the Headhunter glyph in here, and we could get a lot of willpower. Yeah, you notice, like with now access points, I can boost a lot. If I have all the resistance to all elements already, I could juice some out here, because this is just resistance to all elements. We could probably do a slight better pathing in the planner in the description below, that we also can weasel out some more willpower. I'm sitting at 254 points right now, 278 in total. Feels good, man. Shout out at the end here for Mr. Voodie Joe, because I watched his video on the Stone Burst Druid and was like, I need to show this to the people. So thank you for that, Voodie. Do we have you convinced? Is this something you're going to play? I'm enjoying it more than Boulder, which I didn't think was possible. And it's just more interactive to play than Cataclysm. Now go out there, boom druid your enemies away. And if you need some tips for Spectral Ash, materials in general, enjoy and have a fantastic good day.